Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk roundup. Been a little bit quieter on the Aston Villa front over the last few days, but still a few rumours to go through and a potential deal that has been tied up. Before we get into it, though, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and get involved in the comments. Your thoughts on some of the players that we're being linked with, the potential deals that could be done in and out of the club. We're so close now to 4,000 subscribers, I think just over 100 away. So you'll be doing us a huge favor by hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. So let's get into it. First of all, Ross Barkley. It looks like the deal is almost done. 3-year contract, apparently, we have offered him. And as I said the other day, he's had a great season at Luton, seems to have resurrected his career. At 30 years of age, though, is a 3-year contract the wisest move? It seems like it's a lowish cost deal. I think he had one more year left on his Luton Town deal, so £2 million. I think we're negotiating for maybe a transfer fee to get him out of that contract, and then apparently £40,000 a week in terms of a contract for him over 3 years. So yeah, pretty decent deal. I think he was on a lot more back in the day. So, credit to him for wanting to actually play and resurrect his career. But is it the right type of deal for us now? If you're looking at it from a quality standpoint, is he better than Tim Irigbonham? Is he better than a Leander Dendoncker? You have to probably say yes. Different types of player, but will offer us more quality on the ball, has that experience for Champions League, and gives us more control potentially off the bench or even to start. He's started a number of games this season. I think it's 37 that he's played for Luton and been really pivotal in their fight to stay in the Premier League and been excellent for them. I think scored something like 5 goals, Premier League goals this season, 7 assists. So he knows where the goal is. He knows he's an intelligent footballer. He knows how to keep possession. And some of the things that I've watched from him this season that have been a lot better are not holding on to the ball for as long that he used to do in his past time at Aston Villa. He used to frustrate quite a lot in terms of unnecessary touches on the ball. He seems to be more economical with his touches on the ball at the moment, similar to maybe a Tielemans, but with more playmaking qualities, I would say. Being able to play those raking long passes a little bit more comfortably than Tielemans. Tielemans likes to play those through balls, but in terms of 1-2 touch passing, I think it's a really, really good move in terms of smart move in terms of Aston Villa's quality. And we've talked about getting more experience in the side, being able to keep possession, being able to hold on to leads that we haven't been able to do very much this season, being a little bit less rock and roll in terms of our football. So could be a good move. We'll see if that develops today or early next week and it's confirmed, but looks like it's pretty much done. 3-year deal for Ross Barkley. Now, in terms of experience, this deal hasn't gone away at all. January we were talking about it, pre-season last year we were talking about it. Marcos Acuna. Now he signed an extension to his deal up until 2025, and now they're talking about 15 million euros that we've offered for him. I believe he's 32, 33 years old. Argentinian international, plays for Sevilla. 32 at the moment, sorry, left back, so potential experience in there and has Champions League experience, has international experience, but I don't know. He was available for a lot more of a reasonable price last year and in January, and we didn't get it over the line. Now it's looking like a lot more in terms of what we're going to expect for him. So it's a little bit of a strange one for me with Marcos Acuna. Let's just have a little look at his statistics. Yeah, let me just get that up on SofaScore. So he played 21 times, I believe, this season for Sevilla, started 18 games, had a bit of an injury hit season. Obviously, his heat map up and down that left-hand side, can play left back, can play as part of a back five, can play in left midfield. So quite versatile in terms of his playing ability. 1 goal scored so far, and with his head actually 2 assists. So not necessarily your attacking player as such in terms of that. 80% passing accuracy, 87% in his own half, 66% in the opposition half. 2 clean sheets for Sevilla. I'm not sure what their defensive capabilities are like. 56% in terms of ground duels won, and aerial duels won 56%. So for a player who's not particularly big, that's not too bad at all. So Look, we've talked about experience needed. We've talked about that kind of mentality shift that's sometimes needed for Aston Villa. Maybe Marcus Acuna could be that type of player, but at 32 years old of age for 15 million euros, could there be better value elsewhere? What does it mean for the likes of Luca Dean? What does it mean for the likes of Alex Moreno? So, yeah, you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thirdly, another player that's been linked and seems quite a highly rated player is Raoul Bellanova, right back, 6'2", currently at Torino, been around a few clubs across Italy. Actually started his career at Bordeaux, but and made his debut at Bordeaux. Didn't have the greatest of games, I believe, and was responsible for 3 goals where he made some mistakes and only played once. Then went to Atalanta on loan, only appearing once, and then made his name at Pescara, where he played 30 times, and then went on loan to Cagliari and scored and played 31 times, scoring 1 goal. And then moved on to Inter Milan on loan, where I believe he started to do well and played 18 times and has made his name this season at Torino, playing 31 times, scoring 1 goal. Has been capped right through at Italian level from under 15s right through to the full international style. He's a physically strong, quick, fast, and offensive minded right back with good defensive positioning and reading of the game. He's a regular position of fullback, but can play wing back or on the right flank. And he can also play as a centre back. So fits that versatility that Unai Emery really likes. And at 6'2" and 24 years of age, fits the profile of player that he likes in terms of players who've gone out, been on loan, played first team football at different levels, and then he can coach them, mold them, much like a Morgan Rogers. Obviously, he's a few years older than Morgan Rogers, but can mold them and turn them into something. So, again, looking at his SOFA score, um, all the way up that right hand flank. So can be very attacking. Has played 36 times this season. Comparing him to Matty Cash, obviously a little bit more in terms of the creativity and more attacking and technical ability, not quite as strong in the defensive capabilities. But we've talked about options needed at right back because Ezri Konsa has done a decent job there, but you take away too much from Ezri Konsa's game, putting him at right back, in my opinion, than at that right centre back position. And I think Ezri Konsa is one of the best right-sided centre backs in the Premier League. So to have him playing out of position slightly in that right back spot isn't the best for Aston Villa or for Ezri Konsa. So having someone of height, physical presence, and attacking capabilities potentially in a Bellanova would be really, really good. So he scored 1 goal this season, has missed one big chance. Obviously scored with his right foot, but has 7 assists this season, so not bad at all, and created 9 big chances. So a player who likes to get forward, can put good crosses in, can play good passes, 89% accuracy in his own half, 69% in the opposition half, obviously trying to play penetrating passes as well. 1 tackle win per game, 3.5 ball recoveries per game. Only a couple of errors, only one that's led to a goal. 55% in terms of successful dribbles and 61% in terms of ground duels won. Potentially not the best in terms of aerial duels won for his height, which might be something to look at, but a potential promising player that we are looking at. So I would suggest he would be a good option, and we definitely need right backs. We definitely need options at right back, in my opinion. That is a real priority position. Yes, Nedeljkovic is coming in, but what is going to happen with him? Is he going to go out on loan? Is he going to come into the first team? For me, I think we need more options in that position. Now, another exciting player that's been linked is Aziz Musah, Ghanaian under 20 international who has been compared to the next Didier Drogba. So very, very, very exciting player. We're also linked alongside Celtic with him. And yeah, been getting rave reviews, plays for a team called Dreams FC. And they have a very high uh, reputation for producing talented young players, and a number of European sides have been following his progress, and also one of his teammates, Emmanuel Agueyi, who's a defensive midfielder. I believe Inter Milan are looking at him. I think it'll be about 1.2 million that they're looking for Musibeu, and he's actually being tracked to be fast tracked into Ghana's national team. So one to watch really with him. Could be a very exciting player. Whether he comes through into the first team or anything like that, it remains to be seen. Obviously, work permits and things like that would have to be looked at. Maybe he goes out on loan to one of our feeder clubs and then comes into Aston Villa later on down the line. Potentially a replacement for a John Duran. If we get good money for John Duran, do we bring someone like him in as a backup, a backup to Watkins, and have a look at him that way? So could be one to watch, but exciting player to be linked with. And if he's been compared to Didier Drogba, then if he's half as good as him, that wouldn't be a bad player at all for us to be looking at. So one to definitely keep an eye out on. And finally, it looks as if it's going to be the end for Philippe Coutinho. Vasco da Gama, who Aston Villas are looking at investing in, or the V Sports brand, who help Aston Villa in terms of their investments, look to invest in. But I believe he is under contract until 2026. I mean, that deal now looks, we were so excited by the deal at the time, but it looks such bad business now when you look at the wages that Philippe Coutinho would command. And we're going to lose a lot of money on that, because we're going to have to pay a huge chunk of his wages at Vasco da Gama, or we're going to have to negotiate buying out of his contract to allow him to move. So, and all parties, we are going to lose a hell of a lot of money on Philippe Coutinho. So, but I think we need him to be moved on from the club. Had such an injury hit time, and we were actually looking at our predictions, our early season predictions for 23-24, and it's going to be interesting. Watch the show on Sunday to see who we thought was going to be a real surprise package for the season. I won't reveal too much, but yeah, to think that he actually started in pre-season and came through and played a couple of games at the start of the season, and then it's just tailed off so badly. It's such a shame, but you think of the money that's wasted in terms of wages and what we're going to lose out on for him. But we do have to get him off the books. He has to resurrect his career. Hopefully we can get that sorted out sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's it from me. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts on Bellanova, Acuna, Barkley, Aziz Musah, the next Didier Drogba, and anyone else who we might be linked with. Get involved in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 4,000. Keep tuned to the channel. We're going to do plenty more shows. I've got some very exciting interviews with various people coming up, so please do keep in tune with the channel. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.